Everton could quite easily be Man City on Wednesday.
Well, that's what we're leading on to. So is there a bit of restlessness within the fans already with the manager?
Yeah.
Is there, and does that not, for you, having set the example almost with Moyes for all those years of, this is what happens when you have faith in a manager and a philosophy, and you put everything into that, and you can get results out of that. From your perspective, to see the fan base now be waning on a manager after 5-6 months. Does that? How do you feel about? For starters, what's your view on Silva?
See, I like him, right? Because I think, and I don't know why I like him, if that makes sense. I don't know whether it's the idea of what if we sack him, what do we? How often do you keep shopping and changing managers?
And you waited so long for him as well. Went through all the debacle of.
Well, I don't know whether we were waiting so long for him. The owner was waiting so long for him, right? But I don't know whether. It's some people would cut him now and go, it's not done enough, off you go. But how do you then ever build anything, and who gets time? How do you judge whether you get time? So you look and go, well, Everton are 9th at the moment and we're on a horrendous run. If Everton can get a half decent run, they'll still beat most of the rest because the players are better. Whether you're at the most avid red, if you took your red, you'd still look at Everton's squad and go, well, it's better than everything below, because it is. Yeah. Whether or not results play out that way. It remains to be seen, doesn't it? So it's what I think Marco Silva needs to do is I think he needs to get a little bit of personality, and what I mean by that is when you're addressing the press, remember that you're actually speaking to the fan. You're speaking to reporters. Reporters don't care what you say, other than they've got a typed up, they've got 400 words to put in a paper or a soundbite to throw out. Your interview. Every press conference, every aftermatch interview, every website interview is for the fan base. It's not for anyone else. It's for the fans. Yeah. So he has to sell himself more to the fans. I think he's also, I've just said this on one of the shows we've done, he could really do with doing a proper 15, 20-minute sit-down with Everton interview where he addresses stuff for the supporters and goes like, the marking's terrible, we're working on that every day. Summer, we've already identified 5 positions we need to change this summer and we're working on them. This is my long... Because I think if you're selling a plan to your fan base, your manager, for argument's sake, I'm not his biggest fan, but he's very good when he come in at selling what he wanted to do. Yeah. Now, I've got red mates who still were very doubtful on him last season before Van Dijk came in. They were still like, we haven't sorted this. He's had 3 years and he haven't sorted the defence out. Now, they're made up, and rightly so, because they're playing great football, top of the league and everything, and he's had time to build with that. He could come to Everton, people would be on his back after 5 months. Because it's hard for you to look at us, because obviously you look at us and go, never win anything and all that. As an Evertonian, every year that goes by, it gets cranked up another level. And I think what happened with Moyes was we all knew we had no money. Yeah. So it's an excuse, it's an easy excuse to go, well, we haven't got any money. It's dead easy for people to look at Man City now and go, we can't match. Exactly. Know what I'm saying? We can't match them with money. We can't match you with money. No. What you have spent in the Premier League. We may do in the future, because if we keep blowing money like this, we will. But so it's easy to use that as an excuse.
But that's I know we joke about it with you, but you made a good point the other week saying that's a repercussion of Man City spending the money. So you think you've blown a load of money, but the market's gone up, like as it did when Chelsea in early 2000s of going, I want a player who's worth £10 million. There's 20. So if you want someone else of the same calibre, you're overspending your budget on a player just does. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but even the Sigurdsson thing.
Sigurdsson
was probably worth, was it 45, 50 million pounds?
40 million.
Well, Richarlison's not worth 50 million, is he? Like really? He's
Everton paid 28 million for him.
Everton paid 28 million for himself.
That's all they've had so far.
Oh, right.
Right. If Everton wins trophies, he's worth. It goes up to 40 million, not 50.
Oh, so it's 28.
It's 50 million when Everton.
Yeah.
The fee is 40 million, but for him to get to 40 million, it'll be worth every penny, because I'll go and pay the extra thing, because Everton will have won stuff.
Yeah.
It's not going to get to 40 million unless we actually start thinking. But the question is he worth that? He isn't worth that. No. Of course he's not, but still got 1 and 2. Yeah. So he's still a 1 and 2 striker playing on the wing. So there's no argument with the Richarlison for me. He's got 11 and 22. He's done his job, as far as I'm concerned. Sigurdsson's a different thing. Sigurdsson isn't worth 45 million and £120,000 a week. He's not worth that.
That's the other issue you've got, isn't it? A lot of players on high wages you can't get rid of.
Well, this is why we've got a director of football and come in and has got rid of a lot of that. And you know, we come in straight away, cut Klassen out, Rooney was gone. You know, he's done it again in this window. We've shipped Balassi back out. You know, we've brought Martina back from Stoke and got him out the door. But it's hard trying to move players on. You know, Liverpool have had the same. Liverpool had Jose Enrique as an Instagram model for 3 years because he didn't kick a football.
Only just got rid of Lars Markovic.
Markovic, it blew my mind that he still played for Liverpool.
And he's still only 24.
I know, it's mental that, yeah.
No, mate, he's got your cube.
Is it also a repercussion of that mismanagement above and getting rid of Koeman and not having a plan?
Yeah, but Koeman, let's have it right, Koeman deserved to be sacked. I'm
saying that, but they didn't have a plan. No. Like now you're saying Marco Silva, you go and do the same thing again, but there's not a plan in place for someone else. If someone else becomes available that you think is shit out, because I think that's what we ended up doing with Rodgers in the end, wasn't it? Don't get it.
We took a gamble.
Yeah, but it's hard to judge, isn't it? So what I'm saying, you didn't plan for Koeman, and you had that massive period of where I'm going, what the fuck's going on? Because you're waiting for Silva to come in, and you paid the compensation for Silva, and it's like, I don't know, you're starting to step backwards, aren't you? Really?
Listen, it's been massively mismanaged. I think ironically, you know, Everton have had a huge amount of change over the summer as well. The whole board restructured and the behind the scenes and the director of football's come in. I think there's a process in place. It's how long
that takes.
You leave. It's how long you leave it. Do you know what I mean? You leave it and go, well, you've got to give them a couple of transfer windows, but then it's football's instantaneous. Everyone wants everything now. So do we keep suffering the results, but just leave it and hope it gets better? Yeah. See, we've won 1 in 6 home games, which is our worst for years. Everton have had for years now a very strong home record, bar 1 year, which was Martinez's last season. Other than that, we win 12, 13 home games regularly, no matter who the managers. Even Koeman won 10 out of his last 11 home games.
You've got City next.
Well, we've got the top 5, the next 5 home games.
Have you? But you'll probably get up for them now, won't you?
Well, let's move on to Wednesday then. Yeah, so where do you stand with it as like joking aside, do you want to win on Wednesday?
Of course I want to win. Yeah. I want to win because I need... Listen, we can't worry about Liverpool. Liverpool will take care of themselves. Whether they're good enough or not will ultimately be... You can't fluke a league title. No. So if Liverpool win the league, they deserve to win the league. And Liverpool's still got to come to Goodison, don't forget. So it's a trade-off anyway with both. I want to see an Everton performance that means something to the players. I want the players to... It's too easy to blame the manager. It's dead easy to go, well, it's his fault. Some of these players have played under 3 managers, 4 managers. You can't always be the manager. So on Wednesday, I want to see us go out there, get stuck into Man City and have a right good go. Do I think we're good enough to beat them the way we're playing? No. But when we went to Etihad, we should have got a result. We had enough chances. We really did. We gave 3 horrendous goals away, and I mean horrendous goals, as in Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus scored headers, and we had 2. We were getting marked by 6'5" in centre-backs. So that tells you how bad it is. The first goal was a poor goal as well. So we had enough chances that day.
Do you think that the squad is due a performance like that, or how do you feel? Do you have any confidence at the moment in that sort of turning up?
No. Honestly, the thing I loved about David Moyes was if we'd put a performance in like Saturday and we had City at home on Wednesday, we'd beat City. Because that's what Moyes did. I remember Moyes' last season when we got beat 3-0 at home by Wigan in the FA Cup. Horrendous quarter-final, and we had Man City who were top of the league. Come the week later, we beat them 2-0, and it could have been more.
You got a good record against City, though.
Got a great record, yeah. I think they've won 2 out the last, God knows, not many.
And City, from watching them past 2-3 weeks, are kind of not like us, but there's been periods in games, particularly Newcastle, and even at the weekend, where they're kind of like, they're not on full
They don't kill you off.
No.
And I watched it scene like they could have been 4 up at Newcastle, and they were arsing about with the ball. Yeah. And again at Arsenal, they could have been 3 up at the week. I watched the first 25 minutes of that Sunday. They should have been out of sight before Arsenal equalised. So that's the thing that gives me a little bit of hope. The other thing is, I don't see them, mind you say that, I'm going to say Everton's biggest Achilles heel at the moment is set pieces with balls into the box, and I don't see them. Mind you, they scored 2 headers against us with players that big.
I mean, I suppose, Ross, from our perspective, given some of the results that City have had this season. You know, they lost away at Leicester, they lost away at Newcastle last week. If you take away the sort of the rivalry with Everton out of it, away at Everton on a Wednesday night, it is potentially a banana peel, no matter how badly Everton are playing. So what are your thoughts going into it?
Mixed. Probably slightly more mixed now. I've just spoken to you, to be honest, because in my mindset, I said the games Everton can get up for and be motivated for is going to, like you just said, City are here, because that's what I was used to Everton doing from when I'm growing up and watching them. But it just kind of seems not that it's a mess. It just seems a bit confusion at the minute. And then like the only hope they've got is that City aren't in full form. But then City could turn up and win 6-0. But they could do that against anyone in the league. So just don't know. And I don't know if it's doubt creeping in because of Liverpool Twitter that, you know, everything's going to fall to pieces.
Big massive black cloud over everything. Yeah. We're 5 points clear at the top of the league.
The only fan base I know that you can go 5 points clear in the league, and people disappointed with it.
It is mental. We'll move on though. That was great. You know, really interesting. You know, it is interesting to hear because, you know, I was sort of half joking with Ross. We think there's negativity with us when sat in that stand on Saturday afternoon. You know, the best bit was the cat. The blinking, the joy that cat brought.
It just helped the game drag on longer though. That was I was fuming with it. The best thing was the Wolves fans when
there was 7 minutes added time.
When he put the 7 minutes added up and the Wolves fans were singing that fucking cat. Which was brilliant from them. But yeah.